Good afternoon, participants. Participants, you can write down your roll number in chat box.
Also, participants, kindly open the camera. सभी लोग open करें. Resource person has joined our cloud meeting. So I would request all participants to open the camera. सभी participants कैमरा ओपन करें. जो participants absent है उनका सर्टिफिकेट withheld होगा. Kindly take a note of it. Amol, kindly put the daily update on the WhatsApp group. जो लोग absent है इन सभी के numbers आप WhatsApp group में डालें.
Yes, sir.
So, on behalf of UGC Malviya Mission Teachers Training Center, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Marathwada University, Chhatrapati Sambhaji Nagar, I welcome today's guest, Dr. Prashant Vitthal Sathe sir, currently holding the post of Professor at BMC College of Commerce. Also, he is acting as a coordinator of Research Center and PG MCom course run by the college. A person with a vast teaching and research experience of more than 30 years. His educational qualification includes MCom, MPhil, DTL, PhD set. He has taught over more than 20 subjects in commerce and management at UG and PG level. Under his able guidance, more than 6 research scholars have been awarded PhD and 9 research scholars are currently working under his guidance. He has also guided for MPhil degree also, and also has presented research papers at national and international seminars and conferences. He has also co-authored book in marketing management, office management, business administration. He has been a subject expert for selection of teachers, member of Scott Committee for University Exam, chairman and moderator for paper setting at UG and PG level. Also, he has worked in the panel of PhD interview selection committee and special invitee for syllabus setting. And also, he has been the member of a local committee at college level, and also at social level, he has been working as in presiding officer for Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha election, then member of Census Program, Government of India, then president of Akhil Bharati Vidyarthi Parishad Maharashtra, a national level student organization, also a member of Pune University College Teachers Association, then board member of Vidyapit Vikas Manch and Center for Education Development Administration, then member of Shaniwarpet Yuvak Agadi, then resource person at Yashda and resource person at Training Center of Cooperative Department, Government of Maharashtra. So indeed, it is really an honor and pleasure for all of us to have Dr. Sathe here as a resource person. So again, I welcome him and I would now hand over the session to Dr. Sathe, sir.
Namaste. Ravi sir, I am audible.
Yes, audible, sir.
Please. Thank you. So, thanks to organizer, particularly Rafi sir for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to interact with you. As all of you are aware that the topic that is allotted to me for this session, obviously, National Education Policy 2020, based on. So, all of us, we are educational fraternity member in the capacity of teacher, because there are 4 different parts of the education family. Parts means member. One may be principal, other may be management. One of very important is our role, that is teacher's role, and very central point of the system, that is student. So national education policy designed by focusing or by considering the angle, experience, contribution, role, etc., of every member of the education fraternity. But in particular, obvious importance to students, because they are the real stakeholders of our educational system. No doubt we are also stakeholder of this education system through which, or through us rather, this policy will get implemented in its real sense, real practice. And all of us, we have that experience since last so many years. Now, as it is online, so online session has itself is a very limitation, restriction. And considering that limitations and restrictions, we are familiar with this, or we are used to this system since last 5 years after Corona. So after Corona, now all over the country, all over the world rather, that online system is a peculiar feature of every organization, including this organization also, or including our family also, educational family. Right or wrong, correct or not, it's a matter of discussion and debate, but this is the reality we have to accept. For me, it is not that way very acceptable, even though I am a part of this system, and even though right now also I am delivering myself through online. But considering the limitations, or considering this limitations of this mode, we have to continue. But okay, leave apart. Now that, as I said earlier, the topic for today's discussion, I will focus mainly on principles of national education policy and the current status of, in a way, of national education policy, what is expected, because current status and situation is different from area to area, from college to college, from university to university, from state to state, obvious. Now all of you aware that on 29th of July 2020, today is 24th of July. So after 5 days, central government will also going to celebrate. Celebrate means will have function about fifth year NEP. Fifth year NEP means on 2020, 29th of July, central government has accepted NEP by the Ministry of Central Government. And to that date, on 29th of July 25 exact, it will complete 5 years. So in a way, it's a celebration. Celebration not by way of event as such, but celebration by way of completion. Completion of 5 years. Now, there is no need to repeat, or all of you might aware, I hope rather, because this is the program for higher education teachers. I hope that no one is from school education. So even if we are not concerned with school education, or we are not concerned with that is primary education or secondary education, but all of us definitely aware with the structure of this national education policy, previous structure and existing structure. Existing stands for proposed structure in a way. So existing structure or previous structure we may use to call 10 plus 2 plus 3, traditional. 10th, 12th, then first year, second year, third year, undergraduate 3 years, then postgraduate 2 years, means plus 2. So 10 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2, it's a present structure, existing structure, or otherwise we have to call previous structure. Because after implementation of NEP, the structure now differ, structure now changed. As I said that even if you are not concerned with school education direct, but 100% I'm aware that, and I'm aware and sure that all of you know the structure 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. So being a educational fraternity member of higher education section, then also we need to understood and know the structure of 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Otherwise, only focusing on 3 years degree, 4 years degree, 5 years degree with credit, it is of no use. So in Maharashtra, for example, because as I am in Maharashtra, I am in Pune, so I may focus that part. But all over the state, all over the country, there are different states. Situation is differ one state to state. Particularly, for example, in Maharashtra, we have not started 5 plus 3 plus 3 per floor structure since at least in the last year. It is proposed that from this academic year, that is 25-26, government is going to implement this 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 structure. Syllabus is ready. Books are ready by NCERT and SCERT, that is state board, that is national level board NCERT and state level board SCERT. I hope you heard this term here before. So SCERT is also focusing on preparation of books for this 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 structure. NCERT already finished their task uh, for this 5 plus 3 plus 3. Last 4 is remaining. And that is why NCERT finished their task as far as preparation and compilation and writing of books are concerned. But exact starting of NEP at school level from standard 1 is not yet started in Maharashtra. But it will start from this year. So I can't say lost, but there is a delay of almost 3 years. I repeat, there is a delay in almost of 3 years. Why I am saying 3 years? Because unfortunately, after 2020, next 2 years, we were suffering corona, and that's why corona was the premier. That is the biggest problem all over the world, and that is why even though the policy was accepted on 29th of July 2020, but almost 21 and 22 all over the states, all over the country, there was a problem and effect and impact and of corona. So we lost 2 years. So whatever implementation going on in any state, including Karnataka, because Karnataka was the first who started NEP implementation. So it happens after 23 itself. So 23, 24, now 25. Now, as far as higher education is concerned, at least in Maharashtra, because I know this course is open and there may be some participants from other states than other than Maharashtra, but whatever. I just brief the example of our state, Maharashtra state. In Maharashtra, all autonomous colleges, there are almost 87 plus autonomous colleges are there, plus minus 10-20% apart. The number is not matter. Otherwise, someone will raise the hand and give me the correct figure. I am not interested in knowing the correct figure. Point is, autonomous colleges has started implementing NEP from the year 2023 as per the guidelines, as per the GR, as per the circular, as per the rule, as per the norm, whatever name you called, by the state government and the concerned university. Autonomous colleges, NEP was started from the year 2023. All non-autonomous colleges, I repeat, I am explaining, I hope you heard very well, that all non-autonomous colleges in Maharashtra, other than autonomous, they started to implement NEP from the year 2024. So I hope point is clear. Almost 100 plus or 87 plus colleges are autonomous. They started implementing NEP from 23, non-autonomous 24, and all PG courses, irrespective of autonomous or non-autonomous, they started implementing NEP from 2023. So this is the ground reality of higher education section as far as government of Maharashtra is concerned. All state universities, there are almost 11 plus state universities in Maharashtra. So they started this functioning from 23 and 24. Now, as all of us, you are in the field of higher education, so all of you are aware that There is a 3 years degree program, 4 years degree program, and 5 years degree program. My concern is not to discuss and focus on these points at the latter stage of my session. If time permits and available, then we will discuss. That is 132 credits, 160 credits, 176 credits, 220 credits, minimum 120 credits. So that credit part we will discuss later, if time permits and available. I am not that much want to focus on these points right now. What is required now? Now, for example, because after 5 days, we will complete 5 years of NEP announcement, and still we are discussing on sensitization of NEP. Then it's a matter of big question for me, because how many years we are going to sensitize the people? 1 year is okay, 2 year is okay, 3 year is okay, 4 year is okay, 5 year. We are now in fifth year. Almost we are going to complete fifth year, but still government is, and such type of centers runs the program of sensitization of NEP. It means somewhere we have to stop. Somewhere we have to conclude. But as it is the announcement by the government, so concerned organization followed. Sensitization of NEP. I'm not understanding what is this sensitization. How many years you call it as a sensitization? Almost 5 years are finished. But friends, the ground reality is this, because I have traveled almost every state in our country, almost every state in our country. Once physically, personally, not online survey. Unfortunately, thousand times I am underlining this unfortunately word, that 60 to 70% faculty members of higher education, they are not at all aware with this NEP. Even though we finished 5 years of announcement, this is the ground reality. I repeat the number. And that is why, unfortunately, for example, this university, Babu University, they compelled to conduct this session of sensitization of NEP to all the faculty members. But okay, as majority of the teachers are not aware, that is why the first object of NEP is to make aware the stakeholders who are in the field of this profession. So they must aware, and that is why. But I am not um, because I am worried rather that how many months and how many years we are going to sensitize this NEP through online. Very funny or very what is called as a compliance sort of this program, that organizers conduct the session, listeners listen the session, question mark, and got the certificate. On one side, thousands of program arranged on sensitization, and on another side, hardly few members, few number of teachers aware about this NEP. So where is this mismatching? We are not understood. But okay, this is not the time and point to discuss and deviate from my basic point. But this is the ground reality, just to focus. Friends, what I want to focus is right now also all of you, because as you are here, so that is why you must have eager, or you, all of us, all of you are eager to know the some sort of insights and insights in NEP. So, for example, what is called as a gist, I used to call gist, that is abstract of NEP is it is restricted with 65 pages. 65 pages. Now, I used to call, or it is my advice, suggestion, request to all those who are participated here in this program. Please go through with this 65 pages at least. 65 pages at least. And go through with 65 pages is not that way very difficult as a teacher asset in higher education. It takes at least at the most 8 days to read out and to understood in its real sense. For example, 65 pages and 7 days. So hardly 8 to 10 pages you may, hardly. So point is, Point is, as a teacher, plus first go through with the 65 pages, which is, of course, it is available since 29th of July 2020. So since last 5 years, this abstract is available on website of Ministry of Higher Education. If you have a curiosity, if you have an interest, and if you want to have an in-depth knowledge as far as complete sense of NEP, then you may go through with the 484 pages NEP volume, which is also available on net and the website of Ministry of Higher Education. So as per your convenience, as per your time, as per your choice, etc., you may either go through with the complete book means complete policy document, and at least 65 pages abstract. So what is the first duty, what is the first role of every teacher, what I feel in person, that you must go through with this abstract of NEP of 65 pages, so that you have a sensitized, we may call that, yes, you have some sort of sense, you have some sort of knowledge, some sort of information as far as this national education policy is concerned. Apart, as far as national education policy is concerned, I hope that right now you are in service. I know that because since last 34 years I am in this profession. So I know that there are number of variations in the name, number of classes, grantable, non-grantable, CHB, permanent, ad hoc, no, so many. Still I can may increase up 10 numbers as far as. Point is, those who are having under MPhil, under SET, under NET, under PhD, and number of. So there is no, this is not the topic, or this is not the session for discussing the problem of teachers, but 100% we have some problems in our service. Considering that problem and considering that existing rules and regulation, we have to follow this NEP in other way. So no doubt, in implementation of NEP has its own limitation. If time permits and available, we will discuss at later stage. First, in the first half of my session, I want to focus on principles of national education policy. Because being a teacher at higher education, whether you are in private university, state university, deemed university, open university, international university, grantable section, non-grantable section, self-financing section, professional college, whatever capacity you belongs to. And I will not ask, because it is an online session, so it is very difficult to have an interaction, and that interaction is not that way very interactive. Only for the sake it happens. So if it is offline, then one to one we will discuss. I don't know what is the exact status of NEP implementation at your own institute, But whatever status it is, either started, not started, going to start, whatever. My suggestion, advice, request to you all, even though not started, even though partially started, even though started, but our role is very limited, because we don't have any say in that, because we are not a part of board of studies, we are not a part of academic council, we are not a part of management, we are not a part of university, we are not a part of government. These are all justification. I used to say that I am not BOS member, I am not academic council member, I am not senate member, I am not management council member, I am not government member. In what capacity I would implement the NEP? Friends, there is no any hurdle, whether you are board member or academic council member or government member or whatever. You are a teacher. This is the ground reality, or this is the underlying reality, that you are a teacher. When you call yourself as a teacher, then you may implement, or you have to have implement principles of NEP, as considering your strength and considering your limitation. I repeat, considering your strength, that is considering your capacity, considering your authority, considering your responsibility, you can implement the principles of NEP at your level, at your classroom level. Please do not, my advice, suggestion, request. I am not an authority. Please do not see what happens at university level, state level, national level, etc. At our classroom level. I hope that all of us, we visits the classroom every day, not online, offline. Unfortunately, in some institutes, that online sessions are going on under the good name of digitalization of education and modernization of education and etc. etc. But it is useless. For me, it is useless. Coming to the main point, I hope that all of you, not hope so, I'm sure that all of you every day visits, attend, conduct organized lectures in your college, offline, not online. Even though you are CHB, even though you are part time, even though you are full time, even though you are grantable, why I am repeating again and again? Because our teachers are very much expert in deviating from the basic point of the discussion. Basic point of discussion is not you belongs to which category, but we are focusing on that. Our basic question, sir, everything is correct, but what about the filling of vacancies in the university? What about the filling of vacancies in my college? What about filling of vacancy in my institute? Leave apart. You are in service right now. You are on payroll. Whatever grantable, non-grantable, you are appointed as. Then leave apart. So my point is, when you visit any your room, your classroom, for example, I am teaching in my college. I am a BMCC professor. I am teaching in my college BMCC. So when I'm visiting my college every day, I am purposefully use the word visiting. Actually, we are not visiting professor. We are regular professor, and we are as a faculty of that. We are in charge of that classroom. But okay, when we enter the classroom, when we come across number of students, again the next negative point, next deviating point, and that is number of students attended in the class. Unfortunately, all over the country, all over the state, all over the universities, all over the colleges, all over this area, ground reality is absentee of the student is the biggest problem everywhere in Maharashtra, everywhere in the country, including IIT and IIM. This may be the very bold statement from my side, but attendance of the student on record, because every month at the end of the month principal gives certificate to joint director and university that there is a 75% attendance in my college, and that is why we got the salary. What is the reality and what is the theory is different. I don't want to focus on that part also, but attendance of the student again is the biggest problem in educational institutes. How many students registered, how many students appeared for exam, and how many students attended the session throughout the year. These three figures are not matching with each other. I repeat. So point is, whenever you went to any college, any class, any room, for example, I'm in BMCC, I'm teaching costing. I'm teaching costing to my students of TY, BCom and MCom. First, what is required? What says by NEP? I hope that you are here for sensitization.
पार्टिसिपंट वेट कीजिए some technical issue also पर्सन के साइड से। सर फिर से 10 मिनट, हाँ यस सर ज्वाइन हो चुके हैं फिर से।
Sir, namaste.
यस सर यस
I'm audible.
आप
I'm audible.
यस सर यू आर ऑडिबल।
Please, thank you. There is some technique. Let us continue. So, whenever you went to your class, the first principle, as far as NEP is concerned, recognizing, identifying, and fostering the unique capabilities of each student. I repeat the sentence again: recognizing, identifying, and fostering the unique capabilities of each student. See, if you come across, say, 10 students, 20, whatever number is not matter for us right now. So, whatever students you come across and interact with, you need to know their capabilities. You have to identify their capacities. For that, you need to interact with them. So, what is the underlying requirement under NEP? First principle: personal interaction, classroom interaction, not by way of Google form, not by way of WhatsApp group, not by way of online. See, by the way, I am not using not a single mode of social media, but still I know the recent trends of my paper, 100%. So I'm not against to use social media. Point is, point is using social media on one side and understanding and knowing the capabilities of the each student is on other side. What is being mentioned in NEP, as far as principles are concerned, you have to recognize, identify, and foster the unique capabilities of each students, so that it will help in the holistic development of the student. Holistic development. The word holistic development is being used in NEP. So there is no need of only developing the marks in your, only securing the good marks in your paper, only securing the good marks in your degree. But there will be the holistic development of the student. And we as a teacher in that case will play a significant role in shaping the personality of the students, provided we know the capability of the student. See, it is not specifically mentioned in NEP that these are the these are the techniques with the help of which you can get the capabilities of the student. It is purely based on your communication style. It is purely based on your interaction with the students. It is a psychological part of. It's a mental part of. There is no any machine that you come across with the student and you gave the questionnaire to him and he filled the questionnaire and then you understood what are his capabilities. It is not the case. For that purpose, there must be daily interaction. For that purpose, there must be personal interaction. For that purpose, there must be informal interaction over and above formal. Of course, when I say informal, it doesn't mean that any time during the class time itself, but there must be informal interaction. So the first principle, very simple. Here, to know the capabilities of the student, the question doesn't arise whether NEP has started or not. Question doesn't arise whether I am member of board of studies or not. Question doesn't arise whether I am a member of academic council or management or government or etc. You are a teacher, you are appointed, your classroom is fixed, your timetable is ready, you come across with the students. Then first you have to sensitize, identify, recognize the capabilities of the students. See, it doesn't happen that today in the morning I went at 7:30 in my class and started to know the capabilities. And once my class is over at 8:30 after 1 hour 60-hour session, the capability that we know the capabilities of the student. See, it is not a mechanical work. If you interact with them regularly, then you will get the capabilities of the students. And that is why that counseling concept is there in NEP, that every teacher should be a counselor, in a way, mentor of your students. And that is why in NAC also that mentor mentee relationship is mentioned. Coming to the point, first principle, identifying the capabilities of each students, irrespective. And so please do not ask that NEP has not started in, then how we will study. It's a duty of the teacher to identify the capability. Second principle under NEP, you have to give highest priority. The word highest priority is being used. You have to give highest priority to achieving foundational literacy and numeracy. Foundational literacy and numeracy. That numeracy part is very important. Numeracy part is very important. I used to call tables, for example. 2 twos are, 3 threes are, as all of you might aware these tables. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up to last. Of course, I don't know how many of you participating. You are here, 90, 90 plus whatever number get declines, increase, it's a different one. Whether you know Marathi. But I just mention it. Please not put in a message. I know I don't know. I will say a few words in Marathi, then I will come to English. Otherwise, what is the usual experience? As the time I started in Marathi, very second minute, there is a message from group. Sir, please say in English. This is so. This is a practice. Since last 5 years, I am habitual with this. Coming to the point. My point is, being a numeracy part of it, it increase analytical ability, critical ability, and etc. etc. My question to you, झाकलीमूठ 1.25 लाखाची आपण आपल्याला बोलूया. आता इथं 90-97 जण आहेत, 96 जण आहेत, 95 जण आहेत, कमी जास्त होत राहतात. मग अशी 101 होते, आता 96. नंतर माझं लेक्चर संपेल तर 80 वर आला असेल. कारण हा नॉनसेन्स प्रकार असतो. हा ऑनलाईन सेशन म्हणजे नॉनसेन्स प्रकार असतो. त्याला काही अर्थ नसतो. कोणाचं कोणाला मेळ नसतो, शिस्त नसते. पण ओके, कमिंग टू द पॉइंट. पावकी, निमकी, दीडकी, अडीचकी, आउटकी आणि अकरकी. आय रिपीट द सेंटेन्स अगेन. पावकी, निमकी, दीडकी, अडीचकी, आउटकी आणि अकरकी इथं उपस्थित असलेल्या किती जणांशी आहे? अजिबात तुम्ही कॉमेंटमध्ये टाकू नका आणि सांगू नका ऑनलाईन सेशन आहे. आय एम शुअर दॅट ॲटलीस्ट 50% or 60% or 70% or 80% or 90% or so to say 100% कोणालाच माहित नसेल. हा, माहिती असू शकतं. म्हणजे आय एम नॉट व्हेरी प्रिज्युडाइज और आय एम नॉट ओनली वन साइड पार्ट ऑफ. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, मी पावकी म्हणून दाखवतो. I just go through with that. Just for understanding and etc. It is in Marathi, we may convert it in English. 1/4. For example, 1 पाव पाव, 2 पाव अर्धा, 3 पाव पाऊण, 4 पाव एक, 5 पाव सव्वा, 6 पाव दीड, 7 पाव पावणे 2, 8 पाव 2, 9 पाव सव्वा 2, 10 पाव अडीच, 11 पाव पावणे 3, 12 पाव 3, 13 पाव सव्वा 3, 14 पाव पावणे 4, 16 पाव 4, 17 पाव अप टू 100. 100 पाव 25, 25, 1/4 पार्ट ऑफ दिस अ पावकी. निमकी, 1 निम्म निम्म, बे निम्म 1, 3 निम्म दीड, 4 निम्म 2, 5 निम्म अडीच, 6 निम्म 3, 7 निम्म 3.5, 8 निम्म 4, 9 निम्म 4.5, 10 निम्म 5, 11 निम्म 5.5, 12 निम्म 6, 13 निम्म 6.5, 17 अप टू 100 निम्म 50. इट इज वन हाफ. आय नो ओनली फर्स्ट 2 पावकी निमकी, कारण एवढंच मला शिकवलं ड्युरिंग माय स्कूल डेज. बट रिमेनिंग पार्ट that is निमकी, दीडकी, अडीचकी, आउटकी, अकरकी, these numerical part is not at all taught to us, to our generation. At least my experience. If you know, salute. If you know, salute. I repeat, salute. Our elders, your father, your grandfather, your forefathers may aware these concepts, even though they were not graduate. Even though they are not graduate, they are just final, they are just fifth standard, they are just seventh standard during their time. But their critical ability, their memory, their understanding, their common sense, their logic, 100% better than us. This is my proved hypothetical statement. What I am quoting, because during their time, during their time, they learn all this. Just a minute, just a minute. Sorry for inconvenience. So during their time, they learn all this, and that is why their capacity, what I am saying earlier point, to know the capacity, their capacity was tremendous. Only thing is that the opportunity was not available to them during their time. Nowadays, because of this mechanization, modernization, automation, computerization, internet, AI, chat GPT, number of opportunities are available. It is good one. It is good one. But it is good one that now we are in the era of AI and chat GPT. But as a numeracy, as a foundational literacy, and as a conceptual clarity, we need to focus these 3 points while teaching in our classroom. I repeat these 3 sentences again, 3 words again. Conceptual clarity, foundational literacy, and numeracy. It is not quoted by me. It is quoted in the principles of national education policy, that you need to give highest priority to achieving foundational literacy and numeracy by all students by grade 3. As all of you are aware that there are different grades, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, etc. But 5 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 structure. Now, apart from 5 3 3 4 structure, even in higher education, take my example or take our example. In higher education also, students are not at all aware with this numericical part of, or their conceptual clarity is not that way very up to the mark. Why? Because during school days, they, they not learn properly. For example, in Maharashtra, till till up to last 2 years, now the rule has changed. कोणाला नापासच करायचं नाही, not to make fail any any students up to A standard. Very nonsense decision, useless decision, very illogical decision for me. It may have different other connotation. कोणाला नापासच करायचं, किसी को भी फेल नहीं करना up to A standard. It was the quality of education has greatly declined in Maharashtra because of that decision. It is my personal perception. I may be wrong. Coming to the point, so that is why there was the conceptual clarity was zero. Conceptual clarity was of the student up to 10 standard is absent. Then how you could expect clarity of concepts in college education, plus 2 and plus 3? So this is the biggest problem what we were faced in Maharashtra particular. It may be applied to all. Coming to the point, flexibility is the next principle in national education policy. Flexibility. As I told, first principle, recognizing, identifying, fostering unique capabilities of each student. Second one, highest priority to achieve foundational literacy and numeracy, giving focused on conceptual clarity. Third one, flexibility so that learners have the ability to choose their learning programs and thereby choose their own path in life according to their talents and interest. Every word is important. I repeat the sentence again. Flexibility so that learners have the ability to choose their programs and thereby choose their own path in life according to their talents and interest. Because see, talent and interest of all students, every student differ from person to person. We can't compare one person with other person. even though they are from same area, even though they are from same school, even though they are say they are from same economical background. There is no any question of which caste you belongs to, which area you belongs to, which economy class you belongs to, which school you belongs to. It totally depends upon the personality of the student, or that human sort of, that is individualistic character. So you need to give flexibility to the student, that he is not interested in music, he is interested in play. So you ask him to follow the games. One student is interested in music, so you ask to go through with the music part of during school days, during college days. And that is why that interdisciplinary part is there, we will discuss later. So we need to give flexibility by way of evaluation also. It is mentioned in NEP, later stage we will discuss. That is, now examination will not be there. There will be the assessment of the student. There will be the evaluation of the student, not examination. Hereafter, the 3 hours examination will not be there, maybe. Point is, you need to assess the performance of the student. So flexibility must be given to the students to select their programs and thereby choose their own path in life according to their talents and interests. Next principle, principle number 4, no hard separations, particularly in higher education. Particularly in higher education, what I am saying. Also, it is applicable in +3, +4 also. No hard separations between arts and science, between curricular and extracurricular activities, between vocational and academic streams. I repeat, no hard separation between arts and science. Nowadays, what happened? That so and so arts college, so and so science college, so and so arts, science, commerce college, by curricular and extracurricular activities, between vocational and academic streams, in order to eliminate harmful hierarchies among and between different areas of learning. Because what happened, that if we establish these hierarchies, then for example, maximum marks go for science, moderate marks go for commerce, and minimum marks go for arts. It was the general criteria while selecting the stream till last year, till last to last year, or maybe this year. Maximum marks means science, minimum arts, moderate commerce. It is not at all the case in reality. For example, even if I am scoring highest mark, but I am interested in arts, then why not to go for arts? And vice versa. Even if I scored minimum marks, but I am interested in science, then why not to select the science? Because it is not the monopoly of anyone to get the faculty as per the marks which you scored at the 10th or 12th standard. And that is why no hard separations between arts and science and commerce are there hereafter. Because see, that is expectations, capacity, experience, efficiency, etc., etc., differ from person to person. So you can't give separations part of hard separations. It doesn't mean that today you allowed him to for arts, tomorrow he will go for commerce, day after tomorrow he will join science. This is not the funny game, or this is not the what is called as a joke. Joke. Point is, marks criteria should not be there. That highest marks means science and minimum marks means arts. Exactly not. As per the likes and interest and capacity and experience and capability of the students, he will select his faculty, either arts or science or commerce or whatever. So this is no hard separations. Next, in continuation, friends, if you go through with all 17, 18 principles of national education policy, then you will realize that one principle is connected with second, second with third, third with fourth, fourth with five, five with six, six with seven. This is called as a forward linkage. Those who are in research, you may know the concept of forward linkage and backward linkage. So principle second linked with third, third with fourth, fourth with fifth, and five with four, four with three, three with two, two with one. So all these principles are interconnected and interrelated and interdependent with each other. You can't separate first principle. Now, I understood the capacity of the student, then my job is over. No. Once you understood the capacity of the student, then give him conceptual clarity. Once you cleared his concepts, then please see that there will not be any hard separation. Then next principle, multidisciplinary and holistic education across the science and social areas, social science, arts, humanities, sports for a multidisciplinary world in order to ensure the unity and integrity of all knowledges. I repeat this principle again, multidisciplinary, underline multidisciplinary. For example, science students needed to know the topics of social science. Social science students need to know the topics of humanities. Humanities students, if he is interested in sports, he may learn sports. Sports student, if he want to learn in management, he can. So there must be multidisciplinary concept. Now coming to the application part of NEP. For example, in some colleges, because now we are almost finishing 5 years for completion of NEP. So I'm sure that particularly in higher education in Maharashtra, in autonomous and non-autonomous colleges, we are come across with this implementation of NEP. So out of 132 credits total of 3 years degree program, there are minimum credits set aside by the steering committee of government of Maharashtra and concerned universities for this multidisciplinary courses, for this multidisciplinary subject. For example, I am teaching commerce. So as I am teaching commerce and I am a teacher of commerce and I am a faculty of commerce and I am teaching costing to my students. So the students of costing, those who are there in my class, they must get an opportunity, they must have a freedom, they must have a choice to select any one subject from multidisciplinary area, including arts, including humanities, including science, for example, related and connected. I am 100% sure that majority of the teachers immediately will raise the question, what about workload, what about timetable, what about infrastructure, what about appointment, what about existing vacancies, what about payment, what about training, and number of questions are there. Questions are endless. But what is the basic philosophy mentioned in NEP? You need to give an opportunity and freedom and liberty and choice to the students to their other than their domain subject, that is OE and GE in its real sense. OE and G, general elective, open elective. I hope you heard this term here before, open elective and general elective. For example, student of commerce, he must be an you must give an opportunity to learn other than commerce any one subject. It may be from arts faculty, it may be from humanities, it may be from interdisciplinary faculty, because there are different four different faculties as far as University Act of Maharashtra is concerned, that is science and technology, commerce and management, humanities, interdisciplinary, etc. So choice should be there. Choice must be there to every student for this, for knowing this multidisciplinary approach in its real sense. So multidisciplinary science, social science, arts, humanities, sports, etc. I hope point is clear. Next, point number 6. Emphasize on, again, of course it is separate, but I clubbed earlier, but there is a separate principle, emphasizing on conceptual understanding rather than rote learning and learning for exams. I repeat the sentence, learning for exam. What happens till today? Memorization and reproduction during the period of 3 hours. Once wrote the paper, then very second minute, not hour, very second minute, he forget whatever. So whatever we learned last year, students don't know next year. Why? Because he learned only for exam, only for exam, and that is why we there was a criticism to on us. There was a criticism on us by the outsiders and corporates that our examination is an examination of memorization and reproduction of the context. There is no any creativity sort of, there is no any innovative sorts of, there is no any other way interesting sort of, and that is why examination is not there in NEP. There is an assessment. Coming to the point that you need to give emphasize on conceptual understanding rather than rote learning and learning only for exam. For example, I am teaching commerce as I told earlier. What is the basic concept of commerce? I always every year I used to take this experiment. I make this experiment. Okay, I found this on the web for conceptual understanding rather. So what happens that when I said the conceptual understanding, commerce as concerned, very few students, I repeat, I don't know how many of you are from commerce faculty, but very few students, they could able to answer the question, what is commerce in its real sense? Though they are BCom graduate, though they are MCom postgraduate, sorry to say, though they did their MPhil or though they did PhD in commerce, but very few people, very few students, I'm not blaming all, sorry, otherwise you may call me myself as a very man of prejudice and man of negative sense. Sorry. But ground reality, I am saying, I am telling you that very few students able to answer the meaning of the term commerce. As because they are good in writing, as because they are good in speech, as because they are good in exam, but they are very poor in understanding the basic concept of commerce. For example, trade plus aids to trade is equal to commerce. Trade plus aids to trade is equal to commerce. But very few students could able to answer this in its real sense, in its real word. For example, they are grooming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 up to 100. So they answered, no doubt, they answered. But what is the expected answer? What is the concept? As we used to call in Marathi, संज्ञा आणि शब्द. संज्ञा कळली पाहिजे, शब्द भरपूर आहेत. शब्दाला मर्यादा नाही, संज्ञा कळली पाहिजे. Terms are unlimited, but concepts are limited. We need to understand the concept. And that is why conceptual understanding is expected in NEP, and here the role of teacher is very prominent. Here the role of our role is very prominent in implementing NEP in its real sense. Coming to the point. Next, creativity and critical thinking. Creativity and critical thinking to encourage logical decision making and innovation. I repeat the sentence again from my side. Creative and critical thinking to encourage logical decision making and innovation. To encourage logical decision making and innovation. So, for example, we must frame our syllabus. If we are not board of study member, because I know our limitation, I'm not criticizing, sorry to. I know limitations of teacher because sometimes we are not framing the syllabus. Syllabus came from the university. Syllabus came from the institute. Syllabus came from the department. Syllabus came from the government. Syllabus came from the apex body, UGC, whatever. Though you are not member of board of studies of syllabus framing, but you can create such a situation in your class. See, I am concerned with classroom teaching, physical classroom teaching or not online teaching. Even though we are in the era of digitalization, but I am focusing classroom teaching. I hope that I visualize in front of me one picture that you are in the class. In front of you, there are 100 students. Very funny, uh, that is visualization. But okay, at least 50 students in front of you. And in front of 50 students, you are promoting, encouraging, helping, convincing, assisting them to go for expectation, go accordingly, go as per the expectations mentioned in NEP. For example, you must give such opportunity to the students for critical thinking. Critical thinking. For example, discuss on case studies. As I am teaching commerce, that's why I am making these examples. If you are science or engineering or medical or law or professional, etc., you may have different way of case study, caselets, small caselets, case studies, etc. So if you discuss case studies in the class, then it enhance, it improves, it increase the critical thinking abilities, creative abilities, and innovative abilities as far as students are concerned. It is assumed, which is not that way very correct, but it is assumed that teachers know about creativity. Teachers know about critical thinking. Teachers know about innovation. It is the assumption in marginal costing. For example, I am teaching commerce and costing. Those who belongs to them are aware what I am saying. In marginal costing, one of the assumption that fixed costs remain fixed. It itself is a very confusing statement or confusing assumption that fixed costs remain fixed, and that is why we use this technique. But what is expected or what is assumed by NEP policymakers, that teachers know what is creativity, teachers know what is innovation, teachers know what is creative thinking, and then they will percolate among the students. This is the assumption. I don't know how many of you at least aware about this critical thinking and creativity and innovation, but okay, let us see apart. And that is why such type of sensitization programs may arrange, I hope. Coming to the point, creativity and critical thinking to encourage logical decision making and innovation by way of number of ways. As I said, case studies, as I said, debates, as I said, presentation, as I said, essay question, that is essay writing competition, elocution competition. Number of ways are available. Please do not say that where it is not mentioned in the syllabus. It is not mentioned by the code of conduct and rules and regulation of the university. It is not mentioned in statutes. It is not mentioned in act. It is not mentioned in my service condition. It is not mentioned in my appointment order. See, if you are going to use all these words, then the basic idea of national education policy will collapse. If you are focusing only on rules and regulations and terms and conditions and etc., etc., that where it is being mentioned that I have to encourage the students for creativity and critical thinking and innovation. But you as a teacher, it's your prime responsibility, biggest honest responsibility, that you need to give such opportunities to the students which will help him to promote for creative thinking and innovation. Next, ethics and human and constitutional values. That, for example, cleanliness. Now I am visualizing picture of cleanliness in the classroom. Cleanly, I'm not saying that you have to take the jhadu and puncha in and clean the classroom. Sorry, please do not have that type of meaning or that type of perception. If you have, then the biggest question from my side as far as your knowledge is concerned. Coming to the point, it is not a meaning that you yourself should clean the classroom, but cleanliness also, you must inculcate the some qualities and some values. For example, honesty, for example, courtesy, for example, democratic spirit, for example, spirit of service, for example, respect for public property. Many times what happened? We are not at all respect the public property. We are very much cautious about our private property. College property is a public property. Let it damaged by the students. आपल्या खिशातनं थोडं जातं. It is from our pocket itself. Let it be damaged. नाहीतरी पगार आपल्याला कुठे मिळतो? जाऊ दे मरू दे. If it happens, I am very sorry to say, but if it happens, then students will have a otherwise impression as far as teachers are concerned. They may have an impression that this teacher is only for the sake of money. These teachers are only selfish for the achievement of their object only. Point is, you must focus on constitutional values. You must focus on ethical and human values. For example, courtesy, democratic spirit, spirit of service, respect for public property, scientific temper, liberty, responsibility, equality, justice, etc. All these points are specifically mentioned in National Education Policy, what I am repeating. For example, ethics and human and constitutional values like empathy, respect for others, cleanliness, courtesy, democratic spirit, spirit of service, respect for public property, scientific temper, liberty, responsibility, equality, and justice. See, you are owner. I would say owner. You are owner in the sense responsible for your classroom for that period of 1 hour. During the period of 1 hour, it must reflect through your performance, through your language, through your behavior, through your words, through your gestures, through your postures, through your style, through your facial expression, that you are honest, you are focusing on democratic spirit, you are focusing on spirit of service, you are focusing on respect for public property, you are having that scientific temper, you are good in giving liberty, you are good in giving equity and justice. There is no any partiality, there must be fairness, there should not be any what is called as a this is the, he is favorism, I would say favorism from your side. So see, teacher students, they are not, students never see the government or university or vice chancellor or BOS or for them teacher is the best source of, or teacher is the best source, or teacher is the what is called as the ideal for him, ideal personality for him. Because see, implementation of NEP 100% based on the contribution and role and performance of the teacher at the end. No doubt, all other stakeholders are important, government and payment and university and vice chancellor and BOS. I repeat, point is, you must behave in such a way that students, the values and qualities inculcate among the students at ease, without any separate preparation for this. So this is one. Next, promoting multilingualism and the power of language. I repeat the sentence. Promoting multilingualism and the power of language in teaching and learning. That language, three language, two language, I'm not discussing that. Otherwise, in Maharashtra, so much hot discussion is going on about three language, four language, one language. What is required? Mother tongue, one Indian language, and English if required. If right now also I am discussing in English. मी मगाशीच सांगितलं, मी थोडं जरी ह्या लेक्चरमध्ये मराठीत बोललो ना, लगेच कॉमेंट येणार, सर आम्हाला इंग्रजी येत नाही, वी डोंट नो इंग्लिश, वी डोंट नो मराठी, सॉरी वी डोंट नो मराठी, प्लीज से इन इंग्लिश, अशी लगेच कॉमेंट येणार. कारण आपण इतके इंग्रजाळलेले आहोत लहानपणापासून की कमालीच्या बाहेर. सो आय एम नॉट इन फेवर ऑफ, आय एम नॉट पार्ट ऑफ एनी, बट पॉइंट इज mother tongue is must at least during primary education. English is okay because English is okay. I am also teaching English since last 34 years with without any problem or without any hurdle. Point is, language should not be the barrier in transforming the knowledge, not transferring, in transforming the knowledge. And that is why for me, number one, mother tongue. Number two, any additional Indian language, maybe Hindi, maybe Tamil, maybe Kannada, over and above your mother tongue. And third one, maybe English, if required, particularly commerce, science. It is obvious. So that is why you may use English. There is no any point in. पण इंग्रजी बोलणारा हुशार आणि मदर टंग मधनं बोलणारा हुशार नाही असं असू शकत नाही. किंबहुना मराठीमधनं बोलणं, मातृभाषेतून बोलणं, इट मे बी मराठी, इट मे बी हिंदी, इट मे बी तमिळ, इट मे बी गुजराती, इट मे बी कन्नड, इट मे बी मल्याळम, वॉट एव्हर. आपल्या मातृभाषेतून बोलणं आणि शिकवणं आणि शिकणं, पर्टिक्युलरली फॉर द स्कूल एज्युकेशन, पर्टिक्युलरली फॉर द प्रायमरी एज्युकेशन इज मस्ट. Then over and above you may learn, after primary education you may learn any one Indian language, maybe English at the later stage. त्यामुळं 2 लँग्वेज 3 लँग्वेज 4 लँग्वेज त्या क्लॅशेस मध्ये मला आता जायचं नाही. The only thing I'm underlining, I'm not, it is not underlining by me, it is mentioned in NEP itself, that promoting multilingualism and the power of language. Multilingualism is the word which is being used. So you must be multilingual. For example, Marathi English, English Hindi, Hindi Tamil, Tamil Marathi, whatever. Point is, one Indian language you need to learn at which stage I am not concerned with, whether grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, etc. पण प्रत्येकाला, मला कन्नड भाषा थोडी येते, मला गुजराती भाषा थोडी येते, मला हिंदी 100% येते, मला इंग्रजी येतेच येते, बिकॉज दिस इज माय, I learned English during my graduation. So English, Hindi, I am comfortable in English, I am good in Hindi, and I am expert in Marathi because Marathi is my mother tongue. मराठी ही माझी मातृभाषा आहे. त्यामुळं मराठी, हिंदी, इंग्रजी येतं. ओव्हर अँड अबव आय एम ट्राईंग माय लेवल बेस्ट टू लर्न कन्नडा. मी कन्नड शिकण्याचा प्रयत्न करतो, मी गुजराती शिकण्याचा प्रयत्न करतो आहे आत्ता सुद्धा. ॲट दिस स्टेज आय एम गोइंग टू रिटायर आफ्टर 3 years. Point is, we must learn and we must taught language, importance of language to our students. Then only आपल्याला भारताचं ज्ञान, इंडियन नॉलेज सिस्टीम, द वर्ड वी यूज नाउ डेज, हे आपल्याला येईल. अदरवाइज इट्स व्हेरी डिफिकल्ट. मी संस्कृत म्हणत नाही आता, संस्कृत म्हणलं की लगेच त्याला वेगळा रंग येतो, पण संस्कृत सुद्धा यायला पाहिजे असं एनईपी मध्ये म्हटलेलं नाही. इट इज नॉट बिंग मेन्शन्ड इन एनईपी दॅट यू हॅव टू टॉट संस्कृत, बट majority of our jnana parampara, that is knowledge part of covered in Sanskrit, and that is why Sanskrit is required. पण आपल्याकडे संस्कृत म्हणलं की लगेच त्याला वेगळा दिशारंग दिला जातो की आम्ही नाही शिकणार. ठीक आहे, तुम्ही नाही शिकला तर तुमचा तोटा आहे. मला 100% चांगलं संस्कृत येतं, आय एम 100% सेइंग, बट ठीक आहे, ते मला येतं. मी आय एम नॉट इन्सिस्टिंग अँड एम्फसाइजिंग, प्रोव्हाइडेड इफ यू नॉट लाईक इट, बट यू नीड टू नो मराठी or mother tongue, Hindi, English, and one additional Indian language. This is the point from my side. My topic is over. My part is over as far as this principle is concerned. Multilingualism and power of language. कारण भाषेची शक्ती आहे, शक्ती. प्रत्येक भाषेची एक शक्ती आहे. मराठी has its own power, English has its own power, Hindi has its own power, Tamil has its own power. प्रत्येक भाषेची एक मर्यादा आहे ना, प्रत्येक भाषेची एक शक्ती आहे ना, प्रत्येक भाषेचं एक माधुर्य आहे, प्रत्येक भाषेचं एक मजा आहे बोलण्यामध्ये. पण आपण आता महाराष्ट्रात राजकारण सुरू झालेलं आहे आणि 2 भाषा का 3 भाषा का, हिंदी भाषा का मराठी भाषा. I don't want to involve in that. This is not the topic of my discussion today, and please not ask me this question hereafter. Coming to the point, multilingualism and power of language. This is the underlying principle of NEP. Next, focus on formative regular. Sorry. Focus on regular formative assessment for learning. I repeat the sentence again. Focus on regular formative assessment for learning rather than summative assessment that encourage today's coaching culture. Coaching culture word is being used in national education policy, that we are only examining the students, we are only conducting the exams, we are only declaring the results, and we are only evaluating the performance by way of marks. But it is not at all expected in NEP, and there is a continuous, regular, formative assessment of the student. What is the meaning of this? July, August, September. Every month, you need to assess the student. How to achieve this formative assessment and continuous assessment and regular assessment? For example, the month July is going on. Today is 24th of July. You can't, for example, in my college, already I made a timetable that by next week, first assessment will start by way of presentation. So all students, those who are in my class, they will present them their topic in the month of July. Again in August, one other assignment. Again in September, other assignment. Then at the end, maybe semester exam of 50 marks. Coming to the point, formative regular assessment is expected in NEP. Now, friends, as you are a teacher, whether it is compulsory or not, please leave apart. What is my expectation from you? That you may assess the student by giving such type of teaching pedagogy, by such type of options. For example, essay, for example, elocution, for example, presentation, for example, group discussion, for example, quiz, for example, survey, for number of. I am not expert in this teaching pedagogy or this evaluation part of or assessment part of, but you may evaluate or assess the performance of the student regularly every after 15 days, every after 1 month, so that he will be regular in the class, he will be attentive in the class, he will he will come to the class at least. Because what is the biggest problem what we are facing nowadays, that earlier also I told that attendance of the student in the class. So in order to avoid this, what is being mentioned, that focus on regular formative assessment of the student instead of examination. Very difficult, very difficult, because for that purpose we need to we need to be very alert, we need to be very attentive, we need to give extra time, we need to fill the marks, we need to assess the performance, we need to set the parameters of performance, we need to that is evaluate his marks by way of his style and etc etc. आतापर्यंत कसं होतं, परीक्षा 3 तासाची 100 मार्काची, आपलं काम संपलं. Our job is get over to evaluate the paper, check the paper within a period of 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then our job is over. Now hereafter, you have to spend, you have to contribute, you have to invest, you have to spare your time for evaluation, for assessment. It is not that way very easy, because next question may be from your side, whether payment is being there made or not, whether it is mentioned in rule, regulation, code, conduct, SS code, statute, notice, circular, GR. If you are using this terminology, then the basic concept of regular assessment of the student will get collapsed like anything. So my advice, suggestion, request to all, that please assess the student formative way, regular way, continuous way, so that he will be alert, he will be attentive, and the capacity and capability and efficiency will improve as far as student is concerned. I hope it is clear. Next principle, extensive use of technology in teaching and learning, removing language barrier, increasing access for Divyang students, and educational planning and management. So the word what is being used here is an extensive use of technology. Extensive use of technology. That is why we are here. We are here online for sensitization program organized by BAMU on behalf of Central University. Extensive use of technology. It may have pros and cons. It may have plus and minus. It may have negative, positive. But what is being mentioned, extensive use of technology. And that is why it is being mentioned in NEP. Of course, that part we will discuss later, or not even, because it is not my topic of today's discussion, that 60% offline and 40% online credits. You may secure 40% online credits and you may secure 60% offline credits in the class. 40% online. For me, I am not in favor. It is my personal perception. I may be wrong. So out of 132 credits, for example, 40% credits you may secure online through MOOCs and etc. If it happens, then it is little bit other way around. I am not that way in favor. But okay, extensive use of technology, but it has negative side also. For example, concentration. For example, health. Because what is happening nowadays, as I told, that I am not using social media. So I am so lucky, so lucky. I am I am using only Telegram and Twitter and internet, that is mail. I'm so lucky that my time, that is comparatively much time is available to me for reading and writing, for example. But otherwise, if you are used to practice with social media, WhatsApp and Instagram, I'm not aware. I'm so much backward in that. Point is, you waste the time, you waste the time, you waste the electricity. As I'm a teacher of costing, so accordingly, I may focused on. So energy, money, efforts, time, there is a 100% wastage, 100% wastage. I am not at all against, again I repeat, and I am not taking U-turn. I am not at all against to use the technology, because I am using Apple phone. I am using highest, what is called as in my classroom. For example, in my classroom in BMCC, just for example, we installed smart board in every class of my college. We purchased 50 smart boards. One carries 2 lakhs under RUSA grant. We purchased that. Point is, we are not against to use the digitalization, or we are not against to use the technology. Point is, time, investment, energy, effort, concentration, attachment, involvement, personal involvement, emotional involvement, understanding, clarity of concept. If it happens, then no problem. But for me, if you are using too much digitalization, then everything happens through group. For example, sending notice through WhatsApp, sending homework through WhatsApp, evaluating through WhatsApp. What is this nonsense WhatsApp app? Of course, sorry, you may have otherwise re reaction from your side. Point, point is, digitalization is allowed, but too much digitalization from school days, for me, at least from school days, is not expected. Okay, for college students, you may allowed. But म्हणजे मी PhD झालो, मी मोबाईलही वापरत नव्हतो. आय डिड PhD in 2002. आय वॉट मी मोबाईल पण न वापरता माझी PhD झाली, आणि कोणी पण असं म्हणणार नाही की आय हॅव नॉट मेक एनी रिसेंट नॉलेज ड्युरिंग दॅट टाइम. Point is, using of technology is must, but depending on the technology is not that way correct. This is the point. So extensive use of technology, this is the next principle. Next, respect for delivery, respect for delivery, and respect for diversity and respect for the local context in all curriculum. I repeat the sentence again. Respect for diversity and respect for local context in all curriculums, pedagogy, policy, always keeping in mind that education is a concurrent subject. My point is, I am teaching in BMCC. Why I am quoting my example? Because through my example, you may understood what I mean. We are autonomous college. Ours is autonomous college. So autonomous college, I hope that you know the difference between autonomous and non-autonomous colleges. So autonomous college can frame the syllabus by their own. While framing the syllabus, I repeat, while framing the syllabus, by considering the needs and requirements of the people, those who are around BMCC, as I am staying in Deccan, as I am staying in Pune. So by considering the local needs and requirement of the student, we can set the syllabus. For example, what is happening nowadays, with, without considering the local needs and requirement of that particular area, we frame the syllabus. For example, rural एरियाच्या लोकांना अर्बनायझेशनचं सांगून काय फायदा आहे? फायदा याचा अर्थ त्यांना कळलं पाहिजे, बट व्हॉट इज द यूज फॉर देम. त्यांना शेतीच्या विषयाचं काही क्रेडिट्स दिले पाहिजेत. आय एम नॉट सेइंग दॅट ऑल 132 क्रेडिट, बट सम क्रेडिट्स. Syllabus of some subjects, syllabus of few papers, syllabus of or few credits we must set aside as per the local needs and requirement. त्याच्या आजूबाजूच्या गरजेनुसार तुम्ही त्याला सिलेबस सेट केलं पाहिजे, तुम्ही त्याचं सिलेबस ठरवलं पाहिजे. अदरवाईज तो राहतो रिमोट एरियामध्ये, रुरल एरियामध्ये. And what we are teaching to them, what is happening in Germany, what is happening in America, what is happening in Northeast, what is this? अमेरिकेत काय चालू आहे त्याला कळलं पाहिजे. जर्मनीमध्ये काय चालू आहे त्याला कळलं पाहिजे. पण अमेरिकेतल्या कुठल्या तरी एक स्टेटमध्ये काय चाललंय याचा त्या पाथर्डीमध्ये राहणाऱ्या मुलाला सांगून काय उपयोग आहे? याला पारनेरमध्ये राहायला म्हणून सांगून काय उपयोग आहे? पॉइंट इज त्याला त्याच्या लोकल एरियानुसार आपल्याला सिलेबस बनवावं लागेल. अँड दॅट इज वाय द वर्ड इज respect for diversity and respect for the local context while setting the curriculum. युनिव्हर्सिटीने सुद्धा ते ठरवलं पाहिजे. बांबूचं सिलेबस वेगळं असलं पाहिजे, अमरावतीचं सिलेबस वेगळं असलं पाहिजे. नाही तर पुण्यामध्ये काय चाललंय घ्या सगळं तिकडं, मुंबई काय चाललंय घ्या सगळं तिकडं. कारण पुणे मुंबई म्हणजे सगळं आदर्श असं अजिबात नाही. व्हॉट इज हॅपनिंग इन युअर ओन रिस्पेक्टिव्ह रिजन, मे बी अमरावती, आता गोंडवाना हॅज इट्स ओन स्पेशल कॅरेक्टर, Nagpur has its own special character, Mumbai has its own special character, Pune has its own special character. मी स्टेट युनिव्हर्सिटीचं म्हणतो. प्रायव्हेट युनिव्हर्सिटी, एव्हरी प्रायव्हेट युनिव्हर्सिटी हॅज इट ओन कॅरेक्टर अँड सिस्टीम. So point is we must focus on local context. फ्यू क्रेडिट्स, मी असं म्हणत नाही 100%, पण काही क्रेडिट्स, काही पेपर तुम्ही लोकल कंटेक्स्टचा विचार केला. आता इथं तुम्ही करू शकता. Please do not ask me the question whether it is mentioned in timetable, workload, payment, rules, condition, GR, circular. हे सगळे शब्द आले की बेसिक आयडिया NEP विल गेट 0. मग तिथं असं कुठं म्हणले लोकल कंटेक्स्ट शिकवा म्हणून? आपलं काम आहे. बिकॉज फर्स्ट प्रिन्सिपल टू नो द केपेबिलिटी ऑफ द स्टुडंट. आपल्याला समजणार कशी त्याची केपेबिलिटी? तेव्हाच समजेल ज्यावेळेस आपण त्याला त्याच्या गरजेचं नॉलेज त्याला देऊ, त्याला आवश्यक असणारं नॉलेज त्याला देऊ. अदरवाइज ही विल लूज द इंटरेस्ट इन हिज सिस्टम. सो पॉइंट इज रिस्पेक्ट फॉर डिलिव्हरी अँड रिस्पेक्ट फॉर द लोकल कंटेक्स्ट. नेक्स्ट, full equity and inclusion. Of course, this is obvious principle. Full equity and inclusion as the cornerstone of all educational decision to ensure that all students are able to thrive in the education system. That no one should be aside or कोणी काय म्हणू आपण, what is the correct word, that प्रत्येक जण इन्व्हॉल्व झाला पाहिजे. एव्हरीवन शुड इन्व्हॉल्व इन द सिस्टम. No one will be aloof from that circle, away from that circle. He must be a part of that education system. Everyone. Every student, there must be inclusive approach, not exclusive, inclusive approach in this. And that is why full equity and inclusion. Next, synergy in curriculum across all levels of education, from early childhood care to school education to higher education. For example, what is happening nowadays, syllabus of 5th repeated to 7th, repeated to 9th, repeated to 11th. Same topic with some changes. It is not expected. What you taught, then you may taught extension of the last. I repeat, you may taught the extension of the last. What you taught in 4th, there must be some difference in 4th and 5th, 6th and 7th. For example, this is our experience. I am teaching commerce. Whatever syllabus covered at 11th and 12th, again we repeat the same to our undergraduate. Whatever we taught at undergraduation, again we repeat the same for post-graduation. So it should not happen. There must be some synergy in curriculum across all levels of education, from ECGC, early childhood care education, to school education to higher education. Of course, 70-30, 70% syllabus common and 30% syllabus as per the local need and requirement of that student. Why 70% is common? Because credits are transferred. As you know, ABC concept is there, academic bank of credit concept is there. How in how many places there it is applied in its real sense, I don't know, but ABC concept is there. So while ABC, because when you are transferring from one place to other place, so there must be some synergy and there must be some similarity, but similarity not 100%, similarity by way of 70%, 80% maximum. 20 to 30% must be variation as per the local need and requirement. Next principle, te teachers and faculty as the heart of the learning process. I repeat the sentence, teachers and faculty as the heart of the learning process. So, tremendous importance given in NEP about recruitment, continuing professional development, positive working environment, and service conditions. See, being a teacher, I am also a teacher. Since last 34 years, I'm in this profession. Point is, we are very much concerned about our recruitment. We are very much concerned about our continuous development. We are very much concerned, that is, focusing on our positive working environment and service condition. All these points need to be taken into account. It is mentioned in NEP itself that teachers and faculty as the heart of the learning process. And for that, you need to focus on their recruitment. You need to focus on their continuous professional development. You need to focus on their positive working environment and you need to focus on their service conditions. Specifically being mentioned in NEP. NEP मध्ये स्पष्ट आहे. How it is being implemented, it is a matter of question. So point is teachers are the heart of the learning process. मी तेच सांगतोय मगाचपासून. For example, I am trying to saying the same that we as a teacher, if we followed or if we understood the basic philosophy and idea and concept of NEP, we will implement it in practice like anything. Because tremendous importance is given to the teacher itself. Because he is the only person who will transform and percolate NEP in its real sense up to the students, and up to the society. So, teachers as the heart of the learning process. Next, light but tight regulatory framework. I repeat, light but tight. This is somewhat concerned with management and university. So, light but tight regulatory framework to ensure integrity, transparency, resource efficiency of the educational system through audit and public disclosure while encouraging innovation out of box ideas, that is autonomy, good governance and empowerment. I repeat these three sentences again: autonomy, good governance and empowerment. As far as our college is concerned, we favored, we for to autonomy. Since 2017, we started autonomy in our college. And right now, we don't have a single problem over there. Right now also, we don't have a single problem over there. Many times what happened that educational institutes, particularly grantable and etc., they are not in favor of taking autonomy. My advice, suggestions, etc. It is my advice, you may agree or not. My advice and suggestion that if you autonomous yourself, if you got an autonomy, it is the best part that it will be very useful to you to implement NEP in its real sense. Though we have some limitation, I know the problems of autonomy because I am also experiencing this, but problem not by way of losing the job, problem not by way of payment of salary. Point is autonomy, good governance, and empowerment. These are the 3 points are very much important in implementing the national education policy in its real sense. And there, your regulatory frameworks are important. For example, NAC. I don't know. I don't want to make any comment on NAC, gradation of NAC. A grade, A plus, A double plus, B, B plus, B double plus, C, etc. I don't want to make comment. Otherwise, I have definitely some points with me, but I will not discussing because this is not the time also and topic also for today's discussion. But NAC assessment, if we are doing only for the sake of DVV, those who are in the part of IQAC and AQAR and NAC and criteria 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, then you know about DVV. If you are fulfilling only for the sake of DVV, it is of no use. You will score the mark, but in reality, at the end, students will not get benefit. So that is why autonomy, if autonomy is there, if out of box thinking is there, if good governance is there, if proper empowerment is there, then definitely it results into integrity, transparency, and resource efficiency. As I am teacher of costing, so that is why I used to teach optimum utilization. So every material, labor, and overhead. Those who are those who know costing, they may aware what I am saying. So material, labor, overheads, optimum utilization of material, optimum utilization of labor, and optimum utilization of, and that is why the complex concept is there in the national education policy, school complex, educational complex, that optimum utilization of the resources. So regulatory framework should be light but tight to encourage integrity, transparency, and resource efficiency. I hope it is clear. Next, outstanding research. Outstanding research as a for outstanding education and development. Outstanding research for outstanding education and development. So major focus is given in NEP. The National Research Foundation concept is also there. Research, friends, research, please do not do the research only for increasing API, only for increasing our cash, or only for fulfillment of our cash. 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 13A, 13, 13A, 13, 14, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 minute, 1 minute. So please do not do the research only for the sake of cash or API improvement. It should be for the development of the student, development of the society, no doubt our development as a teacher development, knowledge development, no doubt. So outstanding research for outstanding education and development. This is the underlying principle of NEP. Next, continuing continuous review of progress based on sustained research and regular assessment by educational experts. Those who are pursuing PhD, MPhil, now MPhil is discarded, but okay. Then 6 monthly progress report presentation. Continuous assessment is expected and is required. So there must be some checking from some system, maybe by external referee, maybe by our guide, maybe by university rules, etc. So continuous review of progress based on sustained research and regular assessment by educational experts, particularly it applies to PhD students, those who are pursuing PhD. Next, a rootedness and pride in India and its rich, diverse, ancient, and modern culture and knowledge system and tradition. I repeat the sentence again. I repeat the sentence again. A rootedness and pride in India and its rich, diverse, ancient, and modern culture and knowledge system and tradition. भारत माझा देश आहे. सारे भारतीय माझे बांधव आहेत. माझ्या देशातले समृद्ध आणि विविधतेने नटलेल्या परंपरांचा मला अभिमान आहे. त्या परंपरांचा पायीक होण्याची पात्रता माझ्या अंगी यावी म्हणून मी सदैव प्रयत्न करीन. अशी प्रार्थना आपण शाळेमध्ये म्हणायचो. It was a pledge we used in, so we said in our school that India is my country, all brothers, all citizens are my brothers and sisters. I am proud of the heritage. Point is. So it is particularly mentioned in NEP, then that is why the concept of IKS emerged. And that is why the concept of IKS is emerged, Indian knowledge system. Out of 132 credits, at least some sort of credits belongs to IKS. That is general IKS and subject specific IKS. I hope you know general IKS and subject specific IKS. For example, I am teaching commerce. So what is the Indian knowledge system concerned with commerce? 11th century, 12th century, 13th century, 17th century, 20th century. What was the scenario of commerce during this century? As far as Indian scenario is concerned, I repeat, Indian scenario. So during Mahabharata, during Ramayana, or during Shivaji, during whatever, how the commerce was functioning. As I am teaching commerce, that is why I am giving the example of commerce. You may link with your own particular subject. Point is, you must give the knowledge to the student about traditional Indian knowledge and subject specific Indian knowledge. For example, your own subject, chemistry, biology, etc., etc. So this is a rootedness and pride in India and its rich, diverse, ancient and modern culture and knowledge system and tradition. So this is about second last principle. Next principle, education is a public service. Education is a public service. Access to quality education must be considered. The word must is used in NEP. I repeat the sentence again. Education is a public service. Access to quality education must be considered as a basic right of every child. See, NEP has given right, hakka आहे त्याचा, hakka, it's a right of every child to have a quality education. Access to quality education must be as a basic right of every child. And education is a public service, it is not a private service. Education is a public service. Access, it is different than privatization. Otherwise, you may ask me the question, sir, what about private universities and all that? Education is a public service, stands for it should be common to all. It should not be restricted to any particular class. It should not be restricted to any particular group. It is not a property of any private association. This is the meaning of this public service. Point is, education is a public service. Access to quality education must be considered as a basic right of every child. This is the principle. And last principle, and then I will stop my that is session. That last principle is substantial investment in a strong, vibrant public education system. I repeat the sentence again. Substantial investment in a strong, vibrant, and public education system, as well as the encouragement and facilitation of true philanthropic private and community participation. Philanthropic, underline this word, philanthropic private and community participation. And that is why now you are realizing that in higher education in particular, as I belongs to higher education, number of private players, they are coming forward. In Pune, where I'm staying and where I'm teaching, uh, in last month, June, I just go through with the list of private universities only in Pune. There are 36 in number. So in Maharashtra and in Pune, there is a huge difference. In Gujarat also 100 plus private universities are there. In Maharashtra also 60 plus private universities are there. So number of, I am not against, I am not making any negative comment, but it will happen. It will happen because private participation, community participation, philanthropic participation, philanthropic investment, encouragement, etc. is obviously there encouraged in NEP. Of course, there must be control on price, there must be control on fee, there must be control on otherwise, but it will happen. It will happen in coming future, coming time. So my point is substantial investment in a strong, vibrant and public education system through this philanthropic private participation. Friends, now in nutshell, I just go through with all these principles one by one from one to last so that you will now realize what is 1, 2, 3, 4, how one is connected with 2, 2 with 3, 3 with 4, 4 with 5 and etc. Reverse condition. Recognizing number one, recognizing, identifying and fostering the unique capabilities of each student number one. Number two, highest priority to achieving foundational literacy and numeracy. Number three, flexibility. Number four, no hard separations between arts and science and commerce and humanities and etc. Next, multidisciplinary and holistic education. Number next, emphasize on conceptual understanding rather than only learning for exam. Then number seven, creativity and critical thinking to encourage logical decision making and innovation. Number next, ethics and human values and constitutional values. Next, promoting multilingualism and the power of language. Number next, life skills such as communication, cooperation, teamwork, etc. Next, focus on regular formative assessment for learning. Next, extensive use of technology. Next, respect for diversity and respect for local context. Next, full equity and inclusion. Next, synergy in curriculum across all levels of education. As I told, 70, 30, 80, 20, etc. Teachers and faculty as the heart of the learning process. Next, light but tight regulatory framework to ensure integrity, transparency, and resource efficiency in a way favoring, that is, encouraging autonomy, good governance, and empowerment. Next, outstanding research. Next, continuous review of progress based on sustained research and regular assessment by educational experts. Next, rootedness and pride in India and its rich, diverse, ancient, and modern culture and knowledge system and tradition. Second last, education is a public service and quality education must be considered as a basic right of every child. And last one, substantial investment in strong, vibrant public education system as well as the encouragement and facilitation of true philanthropic, private and community participation. Now you realized all these principles are well connected with each other. As I told in the beginning, if you remembered well, please go through with the abstract of National Education Policy of 65 pages. And if someone have an interest of basic document of 484 pages, please go through with that. Over and above, our role as a teacher, your responsibility, your ownership, your association with one class, TY, SY, FY, PG, whatever. So focus that group, focus that classroom, focus that students, and whether you are a member of board of studies, whether you are a member of academic council, whether you are a member of senate, please leave apart. Whosoever, you are a teacher. This is the ground reality, or this is the only reality in our life, that as we are a teacher, we needed to implement as maximum as possible, as far as possible, as and when possible, as where as possible, implement all these principles in our classroom over and above the rules and regulation, over and above GR, over and above notice, over and above warning, over and above memo, over and above circular. You are free to implement NEP at your own level without any restriction from any body, from any authority. If you decide by your own, everything will happen. And if you resist, and if you refused, and if you decline, and if you avoid, then nothing will happen the in developing the quality of education in our field. Everything will totally depends on the role of teacher in its implementation. And I'm sure all the participants, those who are here, 100, 96, 94, 93, whosoever, they will definitely, they are very much honest, they are very much cautious, they are very much particular, they are very much aware, they are very much sincere, and they will definitely try to implement philosophy of NEP, policy of NEP, rules of NEP, letter and spirit of NEP at the end. They are very much expert or they are very much cooperative and they are very much honest in application of NEP, implementation of NEP in its real sense as per the better letter and spirit of NEP. So these are the principles of NEP. With this, I conclude this session. Again, I express thanks to organizers for giving me an opportunity to interact with the groups, this group. But as now we are finishing 5 years of NEP, so we must start from our side to implement NEP as per our capacity and as per as our limitations, by considering our limitations are concerned. But I wish you best luck for this. I am also part of it. And please don't assume that I am expert or elder than I am, just part of it. We are sailing in the same boat. So I am not that way very called that I am expert and already we have finished all these objects. Sorry. I am also experienced. This is experience only. I am trying my level best to fulfill all these objects. Thank you. Thank you. Rafi sir, I am done. Thank you. Any question you may ask, as it is a part of online session. Asking question is, प्रश्न विचारले की उगाच वाटतं की आपण ऐकत होतो म्हणून. प्रश्न विचारले की लोकांना वाटतं की हा फार ऐकतो. सॉरी 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 सॉरी. काही प्रश्न असेल तर विचारा. इफ यू हॅव एनी क्वेश्चन यू आर फ्री टू आस्क. I will try my level best. I am not expert. Huh? Sorry. Rafi sir, I am done.
जी सर. सर आप अभी
Sorry.
सर
Can I leave?
येस हो सर. हो सर.
कोणाला क्वेश्चन नसेल तर I will leave.
हो सर.
So thanks for Rafi sir. नमस्ते सांगा.
हो सर.
Thank you.
Yes, participants, I think lecture is over, so you can leave this meeting. और सभी पार्टिसिपेंट ने डेली रिसोर्स पर्सन फीडबैक को फिल करना है, जो व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में लेक्चर खत्म होने के बाद आपको पेस्ट किया जाती है लिंक गूगल फॉर्म के थ्रू। आप सभी पार्टिसिपेंट को कृपया फिल कीजिए। यस, सो पार्टिसिपेंट यू कैन लीव दिस मीटिंग।